We have risen from the ashes to school the masses. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Scholars Wrestling Show. I'm Jeff. Along with me, as always, is Bryan.
Hola!
And Tarek.
You didn't say 201. You don't say 201. Why not?
You just don't, okay? And you know what?
I believe I requested the hand job.
Oh, here we go.
And the Wayne's World comments have already begun. But you know what? Speaking of calling 2 or 1, a lot of people are going to be calling 2 and 1, along with the 3, 4, and the 5, and all the numbers that come before it.
Wait, what?
The Royal Rumble!
Thank you.
I think that's what you're talking about.
I am talking about the Royal Rumble in my extremely awkward, out-of-the-way sort of way.
Transition?
Yes.
Okay.
Because, let's face it, if you're listening to this show, you know what weekend it is. It's Royal Rumble time. As far as I'm concerned, one of the most exciting times of the year.
It's finally here, gentlemen. We have reached the road to WrestleMania. The starting line. Oh, wow, look, there actually is a starting line painted on your floor, fool.
Yes, there is. We just haven't jumped over it yet because it's not quite Sunday. It might be Sunday when you're listening to this, but it's not quite Sunday yet while we're doing whatever we're doing.
Yes, we're actually taping this on immediately after Monday Night Raw for the first time, I think, in ever.
Because it just kind of happened that way. It just kind of worked out that way.
Because life is silly.
Life is definitely silly.
Life works in mysterious ways.
And I just got I just got off a double shift, so I might be a little loopy today. So good times.
In that case,
delightful.
Life can give you happy times. Sometimes life can just give you the middle finger.
Indeed. Let's talk about some happy times.
Yes, let's. Or at least what could be happy times with a little bit of backstage news.
Checking behind the curtain.
Backstage news!
Backstage news.
Yes, but what segment is it?
Backstage news! What the hell? No.
Wait,
I don't know. It wasn't
What?
very clear before. Anyway, diving right in. Do you guys want the good bit of backstage news or the bad bit of backstage news?
we're in a good mood, so bring on the bad.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Why not?
'Cause you can take it. You're strong boys.
Are we?
Yes. I believe in you.
Let's put that strength to the test.
Okay.
What do we got?
Well, for the first article here, apparently WWE has just released their WrestleMania Collectors magazine. And you know who's front and center on the cover?
Roman Reigns!
You win.
Hey!
It's funny. I actually saw that on the newsstand when Michelle and I went to shop.
Oh, it's out already.
Yeah, I saw it in the newsstand section. I'm like, hey, it's the WrestleMania magazine. It's not the WWE magazine anymore. I bought the last article.
Guess what? It's bad news for some. Okay.
But not necessarily.
Okay. I do not think this is bad news because just because he's on the front cover of a magazine does not mean he's going all the way.
Exactly.
Well, hey, he's the... From now on, since they started actually having the Raw intros now, starting 2015, which surprised the hell out of me. I'm like, oh, wow, it's always I felt like there was something missing when these Raws began in 2014.
Back.
But now they brought the intros back, and it ends with Roman Reigns. Usually it ends with Cena, but now it ends with Roman Reigns, and...
But you see, it's good to see new blood getting the push to be the end of the promo.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so it's like, could it have been someone better than Roman Reigns? Sure, but it does not bother me.
Oh, no, it doesn't
that
bother
it's
me.
Roman Reigns.
And as I finish, we got the fireworks back, man.
Yeah, that
I
was...
missed the fireworks.
Gotta get that pyro at the beginning.
I was a little surprised they brought that back since there was so much talk about budget cuts in WWE. But hey,
I missed it. It was definitely
so did
missed.
I.
It definitely felt, in best terms, nostalgia.
And
It
that
definitely fit for this episode.
It definitely fit for this particular episode of Raw.
Yeah, speaking of nostalgia, there's only one little bit of backstage news I also have.
The good one, of course.
Yes. You know who's actually in talks with WWE? Who is supposedly in talks with WWE in some capacity?
They like tables a lot.
They are what helped make the tag team division.
Okay, now you're just looking at my notes.
No, I actually read this.
I read this morning.
Yeah.
Oh, well, take all the thunder, why don't you? Yeah, the Dudley Boys are supposedly in talks with WWE.
Hey, we may have taken. You know
they
what?
like wood.
Pause. You know what, fool? You had this big build up for it. Let's quickly rewind that and actually have a little emphasis on saying that the Dudley Boys want to come back. Come on,
okay,
right now, do it.
The Dudley Boys want to come back, supposedly.
Where?
To Dudleyville? What are you talking about?
Just come back to the WWE. My God, it's like.
What
talks,
are you going
the Dudley
for?
Boys want to come back to the WWE. What are your thoughts on this?
I hope it's true.
I love this. It'll actually give me a reason to give a crap about the tag team division again. Because guess what? Right now,
they don't.
No craps given about the tag team division. Nothing is working for the tag team division right now. I love the Usos, but they're the John Cenas of the tag team division.
And they seem to be focusing on a single storyline. It's like, what is it, Jey Uso?
Uso and Naomi versus The Miz.
Jimmy Uso is the back support guy, and Damien Sandow is, Mizdow.
Yeah. Oh, and there's also talks that Mizdow.
Yes.
That whole thing when he creeped out The Miz about having cameras on him at all times, that's gonna be the beginning of the rift that will lead to the split and Mizdow turning face.
And is it something similar to GTV?
No, I'm thinking that The Miz is gonna get so creeped out he's just gonna turn around and beat up on Mizdow, and then we have Mizdow turn face, and then you have Mizdow win a feud.
Here's the thing, though, with that: if they do eventually turn Mizdow or Sandow, whenever they change him back to Sandow, because they kind of have to, I want to see him do the initial breakup, not Miz. Because I feel like if Miz is the one, it would be the one to break them up. It would be mainly focusing more on him, and Sandow would just be pushed aside.
With what I heard on that particular article, okay, they're so happy with how this pairing has went for both of these guys that as soon as the breakup happens, they're both up the card.
That would be really, really wonderful if they actually handle this right.
They're both up the card. But going back to the original point, okay, the Dudley Boys coming back.
We so drifted off so much.
Okay, the Dudley Boys coming back to the WWE. Going back to nostalgia. Okay, I will be happy whether they're in a crappy storyline, whether they're bringing legitimacy back to the tag team division.
Was that again? Third strike, man. Third strike this week.
And
3 weeks in a row. Good for you.
And it doesn't matter what they're doing. Okay, the Dudley Boys are the Dudley Boys, and the Dudley Boys make me a happy scholar.
Yeah, their role has not been clearly defined yet, assuming these talks are even going on. But obviously, it would be great if they came back in ring capacity, or if they're coming in just as trainers or whatever have you. I mean, we certainly know that Bubba Ray is absolutely one of them. Well, at least I think he is. I think he's one of the more underrated minds that the wrestling business has to offer.
It's a shame that his one heavyweight title win was in TNA. As good as that reign was.
I was going to say, at least he's got a reign.
Yeah, I was about to say
reign,
that.
And it was a nicely held one, and it was the biggest storyline that TNA had since the Main Event Mafia. I guess that was what it was called. That whole biker
No, that was a main event match.
was
That was
no.
Aces and Eights.
I mean, the Aces and Eights was the biggest storyline since the main event Mafia,
okay.
and he was the leader. Okay, so nothing that you would have expected out of the WWE, Bubba Ray Dudley.
Well, yeah, because he could have. I mean, look what happened with JBL. He was Bradshaw, and then he became JBL. The one thing is they never let Bubba Ray tweak his character to a point where he could be a main event star, which we all know he was perfectly capable of.
And now that he's been that in TNA, he can come back to the WWE and continue doing what they were doing before they left, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm fine with seeing the Dudley Boys bring back legitimacy to the tag team division. There is nothing wrong with this, in my opinion. Nothing. I don't care if it's a crappy storyline. I'm not going to say it's the Dudley's fault. Nothing can go wrong, in my mind, with the Dudley Boys coming back.
As much as I 100% agree with you on that, with everything you just said, I do have to disagree with one thing. Some of the tag teams that WWE currently has had capabilities to actually bring back legitimacy to the tag team division. It's just that the creative never gave them that opportunity to do it.
Right.
Come on, Dashing
This
Lee
is not a
Gold.
case of mismanagement, severe mismanagement.
Yeah, they had the right tools to bring legitimacy back. They just didn't know how to use it. They put the circle block and tried to put it in the square block.
Now,
that was WWE.
Let's face it, okay? Ever since Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose left to do movies and got injured and all that, creative's been... Ugh.
Creative's been out of sorts for years.
I mean, it's been out of sorts, but the last 4 months have been some of the worst of the worst. So it's like...
I do agree with you.
Mighty lofty scorn there.
No, I am perfectly serious, and that TLC, just by itself, okay, they had one good written match at Survivor Series. Everything else has been
pretty much I have to say pre-Survivor Series, the product was actually going on pretty well. But then post-Survivor Series to today...
Okay, the last 2 months have been some of the worst creative and unwatchable television that I've seen in a long time.
It is very hard to watch Raw and actually keep it on the channel.
Even the lineup, even the lead up to last year's Royal Rumble was better than this.
You didn't like the go home show for this Royal Rumble?
Oh, I loved the go home show, but everything before the go home show was absolute crap.
I think that's a pretty good segue. I think that's a pretty good segue to talk about Raw.
You know what though? I'm just looking at the rest of Raw here and realize, let's face it, this is the Royal Rumble prediction show. Why don't we do something a little bit different? Why don't we take a look at each individual match and see what led up to that led up to it?
That's what we've been doing, and let's get right back to it.
Because
that's pretty much what we've been doing for this.
Otherwise, it's going to be a 3-hour show.
Yeah,
I was about to say a 3-hour tour,
and I'm gonna be loopy at about the end of an hour. So that's
all right. So let's get right to it.
I'm loopy.
I'm loopy.
Ah! Why would you do that?
Because you're singing and dancing like Jimmy Neutron.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's everything wrong with that.
There's nothing.
There is nothing wrong with Jimmy Neutron.
No, there's everything wrong with it when no one can see you. Okay.
Thank you. Anyway, let's get right into it. Let's talk about the Royal Rumble and where we're going with it. Fool, do you remember the pre-show? Because I honestly don't.
I hate you right now.
What?
Are you actually being serious, or are you messing with me?
Oh no, I'm serious.
Oh my god. Yes, I know.
You brought it up before we started taping, so that's why I asked. Honestly, I'm being serious.
Okay, the pre-show, A New Day versus Cesaro, Tyson Kidd, and Adam Rose in a 6-man tag elimination match.
Well, let's just put this out there right now. They've been having 6-man tag matches for about a month and a half now, so I can see why that would so obviously.
You know, it's been mainly just regular tag team, really. And Xavier Woods is usually the one sitting back. They alternate tag teams when it comes to New Day, and it's always facing Tyson Kidd and Cesaro, with Adam Rose in the corner for some apparent reason.
And now he's getting a chance to be eliminated first from his team.
Do I need to say the A word at this point?
Why not?
Atrocious?
No.
Why not?
Another A word.
Say it.
This match is just a very poor appetizer.
Oh, okay.
Very
that A word.
Okay. Whatever did you mean?
Atrocious.
No,
it's a bare bean salad. It's as a comedian would put it, it is a promissory note that the good stuff will soon arrive.
Huh. Well, okay, that works.
and that means that this match means absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
In the long run, it's leading up to the quote-unquote greatness that will come sooner or later on the show.
Yeah, like great matches, like the New Age Outlaws versus the Ascension.
Remember when I said greatness? I said quote-unquote, which means that Ascension wins. Obviously.
At least they better after that sorry display on Raw the other night.
I loved it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'll say it.
Okay. As much as I love the nostalgic of seeing the APA and the New Age Outlaw, well, not really the New Age Outlaws because we just saw them recently, so. But still, seeing the APA was the only thing. Seeing the Outsiders and X-Pac, because he's not the NWO.
No, he's not.
It wasn't the NWO.
It was one of the.
It was the Clique. Let's be real.
No, but
it was the Outsiders with X-Pac.
The only thing that made sense about the only thing that made sense about X-Pac being out there at all, okay, is when the New Age Outlaws came out at the end and he took off the NWO shirt, showing the Degeneration X shirt, and I was like, then that's when you should have come out. That's it. If you were gonna come out at all, you come out with your team from when you were in the WWE, not your friends from the backstage area.
Who else?
It wasn't, again, that's why I have a hard time seeing it as the NWO when it was really just, it was just the Clique.
Well, they came out as the NWO, so you're expecting this to be the NWO. They're telling you. They're trying to force it in that noggin of yours. It's the NWO.
And then I was gonna.
It's not like the Clique ever had a theme music or a shirt or anything like that. Everyone knows the NWO.
It's just.
I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
So the NWO
It was fine.
So the NWO comes out. Okay.
The quote NWO.
Moving on from that,
I can't let it go. I can't let it go.
Then
do it for me.
Then the Ascension comes out and they do their shtick. They do their we are the legendary tag team moving into the future. Welcome to the wasteland. You and the tag teams of the past mean nothing now. And that pisses JBL off. Yeah. So JBL takes off his coat and his cowboy hat, and he's going around the ring with a microphone and goes, "How dare you? How dare you?" And then he says, "I knew that this was gonna happen, so I put in a phone call to a good buddy of mine." Rips off the button shirt and shows the APA, and I marked out.
I gotta admit, that was a really good reveal. I did not see that coming. Not out of JBL.
I marked out.
I can be perfectly honest. I was actually I saw the black. I'm like, oh no, he's not going to wear the NWO shirt, is he? But then he said he's called, so I'm like, oh thank God, he's bringing Ron Simmons. It's the APA. That was the only time I really marked out on that segment.
And then I could have done without the Outlaws, the promo that the Road Dogg cut on the way to the ring was just
silly.
Well, you know what? Once it was revealed that it was leading up to New Age Outlaws versus the Ascension, this whole segment sort of made sense to me. Why it needed
and
to
Billy
be done
Billy Gunn obviously still has it because the moves were crisp. that he was pulling on everybody, and it worked. And I'm sorry, when JBL started winding up before picking up, who was it, Connor? Or was it Victor?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
when he
remember
picked
either.
up, I think it was Victor, because I think Connor was kicked out of the ring or whatever, and Victor was the chosen crash test dummy. So he starts winding up, and I'm like, I don't care what anybody else thinks. I got the APA, and I got a clothesline from hell. I like it.
It's all good.
I like the segment. Does it do anything for the Ascension? No, but I can be perfectly honest. I've never liked the Ascension, so it doesn't really matter to me.
Hey, well, just looking ahead to this Sunday, the big question is, who's going to go over, the Outlaws or the Ascension?
It better be the Ascension.
Yeah, it really has to.
It makes no sense if it's
Sure,
the Outlaws.
but this is also the WWE we're talking about.
No, but I think
it has to be
in
the
this
Ascension.
sense, in this particular match, in this sense, I don't think there's. I think even creative can get this right. Okay.
Right, so it's pretty much unanimous. The Ascension's going over.
The Ascension's going over. It'll be pretty short as well.
It'll be pretty short, and it really has to if you want to take the Ascension seriously. And maybe it'll be, 5 minutes?
I think 5 minutes, and Billy Gunn will get some moves. Road Dogg will get his jiggy punches.
Little shimmy and shake.
Shimmy and shake, but after that, they just get annihilated.
I could be perfectly honest. I could see him doing the shake, rattle, and roll punches, and as soon as he's about to hit the last one, they reverse it, and then they just dominate after that.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
I just think that is what happens, and I think it's what needs to happen.
I think it's going to be the Shield. Okay, the Shield at WrestleMania. I think it's going to be the Shield at WrestleMania.
Exactly.
All over
That's
again.
exactly right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That works for me.
Yeah.
I think it works for all of us, or at least it's better.
Yeah.
All right. So that's covered. Next up, we have the exciting tag team of Natalya and Paige versus the Bella Twins.
Obviously, they're doing this because of Nikki Bella getting hurt.
Really?
Yeah.
I guarantee this was going to be a title match.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a title match between Natalya and Nikki Bella.
But Nikki Bella got hurt at a recent house show, and now it's a tag team match.
Okay. You guys are probably going to laugh at me for this, but honestly, I thought it was in response to what's been going on in Total Divas.
I'm not going to laugh, but I really don't give two craps about
I've been watching Total Divas again.
Okay, now that deserves a laugh.
But here's the problem,
if for
okay?
no other reason than Paige is on the show and she is awesome.
But here's the problem, okay? That's based off of stuff that was 6 months back.
Yes, but it's fresh on TV.
It's fresh on
new
TV.
Episodes just aired.
It's fresh on TV, sure, but it's based off of stuff that was 6 months back. Paige being all nasty in the match against Natalya, licking the ear.
Yeah, but after that, they're on good terms again. So chronologically, in terms of when the episodes actually air, this sort of makes sense.
This
makes
me hate reality.
Based
TV
on
all over
actual
then
wrestling,
you're ahead of the curve.
Based on actual wrestling, this actually makes sense because Paige and Natalya have both pinned Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella can't go by herself because she hurt herself, so bring in the sister. Evil Bella Boobs are down for the count. Okay, so you bring in the sister, and Paige and Natalya get a tag team win going into maybe a triple threat match at Fastlane.
I can go with that.
Yeah, I think this really does sound like another easy pick for both of us. So,
all three
Natalya
of us.
and Pilgoth Hot
Stop
Mess.
leaving me out, man. Wait, what'd you say?
Natalya and Pilgoth Hot Mess both win.
Oh, yeah. That's what
I could go with.
Okay.
Hey, her words, not mine.
Okay. We don't watch Total Divas, so okay.
Well, you know what? You ought to.
No.
But Paige.
No.
Paige.
Nothing.
I can look on.
Paige is actually good.
Let me put it this way.
I can look at photos online. I don't need to watch crappy reality television.
Let me put it this way. Not even Trish Stratus can make me watch Total Divas. And you know how much I'm in love with Trish Stratus.
Yeah.
But what if...
No.
But...
No. Move
There's
on.
nothing you can
Well,
say.
Move on.
I don't know how much... I've been saying this for months. How much more clear can I be? Never will I ever watch Total Divas. No.
But,
No.
Next match.
but what if...
Next
Move on.
match.
But...
Please. No.
No.
Buts.
But...
No buts.
Okay, no buts. Not even pages. Alright. Moving on.
It's called photos on the internet. We're good.
Alright. Speaking of butts, we've got the big match of the Usos versus Miz and Mizdow for the tag titles.
He was in reference to Naomi's big butt.
Usos retain.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's probably the shortest discussion we've ever had on a pay-per-view match.
I could be perfectly honest. This is probably going to be one of the shortest prediction shows we're ever going to do because really
Usos retain because they're starting to split.
Predictable pay-per-view.
They're starting to split. I don't think that they're going to have the tag team titles be involved in the split.
Exactly.
So the Usos win. The Usos win to set up for something with the Ascension down the line.
Okay, I guess we're 3 for 3 now. Usos going over. Alright, next match. Now we're getting to something interesting. For the WWE World Heavyweight title, Brock Lesnar versus John Cena versus Seth Rollins. Triple threat rules. Who do you got?
The only possible thing, okay, with all of my predicted winners for the Royal Rumble, the only possibility is Brock Lesnar retains. Okay? Because Roman Reigns. Okay, you could go for John Cena versus Roman Reigns. It would suck. Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. Okay. Beast versus... You could do Beast versus an animal, Beast versus a warrior, whatever. And Daniel Bryan. Then I don't want to see Daniel Bryan versus John Cena at a WrestleMania. I want to see Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar. The only thing that makes sense for possible winners is Brock Lesnar retain.
I have said this the moment Brock Lesnar won the WWE World Heavyweight title. He is holding on to that belt till WrestleMania.
He needs to.
That statement stands right now.
That's why Seth Rollins is involved in the match. It means John Cena doesn't have to take a pin.
That's a very good point. And you know what? I'm going to have to... Again, I hate to sound repetitive on this show.
This
is
a very, very predictable pay-per-view when it comes to everything else besides the Rumble.
Yeah, you're probably right. This thing is probably going to be mostly... it's not the destination, it's the journey.
Mm-hmm.
And you're absolutely right. I'm still going to use the same comparison I have been for months now. Brock Lesnar needs to stay Goro. He needs to be Goro. He needs to be the final boss. He needs to be the monster that comes out as soon as you reach the top of the mountain. And you know what?
He took out the Big Show and Kane like it was cake.
Yeah, he lifted up the Big Show. No one ever does that.
He
I've
lifted
never seen that before, King.
No. He lifted up the Big Show like it was nothing. Okay, John Cena strains a little bit. Okay, he lifted up the Big Show like it was nothing and tossed that son of a bitch.
You know who else? You know who else picked up the Big Show like he was nothing? That Big Show seemed to have forgotten that has eliminated him over a top rope in a battle.
Kane.
Okay, I'll give you that one because that's absolutely
and
right.
Cesaro as well.
Cesaro, yeah.
All right, who's the fifth person?
That's not struggled picking up Big Show. Goldberg.
Oh, well, Goldberg. Yeah, again, another
Goldberg's a freak like Brock Lesnar. So
I love watching that video of him lifting Big Show up in WCW.
That's
like
why that's why that match at WrestleMania should have been gold. But the two didn't give a crap about anything at that point.
You mean WrestleMania 20?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, neither of them gave a crap.
And especially not the crowd. That was so bad.
Well, the crowd gave a crap until they walked around the ring staring at each other for 10 minutes.
You should know he was there for that one.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
And afterwards,
I should have went to that one.
And afterwards, Austin went on his podcast like, "Hey, did you just improv that stunner on Brock and Goldberg?" Like, okay, let me break something down for you. Brock Lesnar is an absolute physical freak of nature. Goldberg is also an absolute physical freak of nature. You do not just improv a stunner and just randomly kick the guy like that in the stomach and expect to live. Not even me. That's just something you just don't do.
Someone actually asked him that?
Yeah, it was an emailed question on one of his podcasts.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I gotta start listening to these podcasts because just that response by itself.
I'll tell you what, Austin's is worth. As long as we're talking podcasts other than our own, I recommend Austin's podcast. I recommend Colt Cabana's podcast, The Art of Wrestling, and occasionally I'll also check out Jericho's and JR's.
Jericho's has been pretty good as of late. He's had a lot of he had Hulk Hogan on his podcast.
There you go.
You want to know the build up to WrestleMania 3 and the actuals and the Hulk Hogan's version of his problems with the Macho Man? Listen to that podcast. It's some of the best stuff I've ever heard.
Apparently, Taz just started his own podcast too, called the Human Podcast Machine.
Yeah,
nice.
And apparently, it's not doing too badly. I still haven't listened to it myself, but hey, apparently he's got something going for himself. So hey, who knows?
Yeah. Seth Rollins went and pissed off Brock Lesnar. That's all I have to say.
I think that was the most entertaining thing that came out of Raw for me. Just seeing
Brock Lesnar just taking out everything.
And as you put it before we recorded, going all Dusty Rhodes saying, "I want to fight, baby."
I'm not here to listen to Paul Heyman talk. I'm here on business, baby. I'm here to fight.
There was a lot of babies going on.
And then Triple H comes out. Are you out here to conduct business, baby? Or are we gonna fight?
It was so awesome. I was like, I'm loving this. This is like, awesome.
It was so bad. It was so bad that it was amazing.
And the crowd was eating it up, and I'm like, this is the quote.
I'm like, there's bad that no one can stand. That promo that should never be speaking of again.
Mm-hmm.
And they're so bad.
Effing beans, man.
And they're so bad. It's amazing. Okay, and that was. I made a fight, baby.
I made a fight, baby.
and I'm like, this is so bad, but I'm loving every minute of it.
This is the guy who are we pushing as the most ultimate dominant beast who destroyed Undertaker's WrestleMania streak, who destroyed John Cena in a title match at SummerSlam, and he's just going on. I came here to fight, baby.
You got 10 seconds, baby. Get down here. Of course,
his reaction to the crowd counting down was awesome.
And he's like,
"That's what I'm talking about, baby."
The bug eyes. They're like, yeah. They're actually. Oh, of course. I'm here. You're not. What a surprise,
baby.
Baby.
And then Triple H comes out, and 25 minutes later, holy crap! They've been dragged on.
I looked at the time. It literally took 20 minutes.
Oh my god!
I mean, we talk about 20-minute Triple H promos. This was literally 20 minutes. I was like blinking at my TV and just in surprise. So, wow, this actually happened.
You know what cracked me up about this Raw? I was actually counting down I was keeping an eye on the time and how many matches there were on this show. They were beginning their third match at like the 2-hour and 15-minute mark. I was in complete shock because after that, all the matches were going by so fast. They were like there was 2 big long matches, which was Bray Wyatt and Daniel Bryan, which was awesome.
Of course it was.
It was very
good. But the second one was Wade Barrett versus
Dean Ambrose.
Dean Ambrose was another good long one. I actually missed the ending on that one. I actually missed how that one ended.
I think that might have been interference. That might have been a DQ.
As far as I don't know. They were talking about how like Dean Ambrose won the match.
Yeah, I think you won by DQ, but don't hold me on that.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I missed how that match ended, but that was another good long one. Everything else, like those 2 matches, had commercials in the matches. Everything else was less in between segment commercials. I'm like, I think there was a total of like 5, maybe 6 matches.
Oh, and by the way, Dean Ambrose won clean.
It was clean?
Yes.
There you go. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for the confirmation.
Yes. Barrett tried to give him the wasteland. Ambrose fought out and immediately hit him with the Dirty Deeds.
Okay, all right.
Your favorite wrestling finisher?
Yes, Dirty Deeds. Done dirt cheap.
All right. So bring it back to the title match. I think it's all a wash here. It's all Lesnar all day.
All Lesnar all day. Really? That conversation came from the title match? That's awesome.
Yeah, really.
All Lesnar
I knew it was gonna be
all
like
day.
That. I mean,
okay, he takes out Kane. He takes out
Big Show.
Okay, he doesn't get Seth Rollins. He's going to get him some Seth Rollins, and he's going to pin Seth Rollins. That's why Seth Rollins is in the match. So John Cena can still look strong, whatever he's doing afterwards, and Brock Lesnar still is the champion after beating Seth Rollins.
Well, I remember talking to you about this after we recorded, like after our recording last week, how I feel that this match is going to be the starting point to Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins for WrestleMania.
And as an asterisk, okay, I really want to see how Seth Rollins is going to sell the F5. I really want to see it. I must see it.
He's gonna be a human Super Bowl.
He's got to bounce like The Rock after a stunner.
You remember in the SmackDown versus Raw video games, there was 2 different kinds of F5. One was like the traditional looking one, and the other one where he has the guy like throwing up to the other side of the ring.
That's gonna be the one that gets
the Seth Rollins F5. He's like, it's going to start on one corner, F5, and he's going to fly to the complete opposite corner. I think someone is going to take out John Cena during the match. I don't know who.
That'll be interesting.
But I think someone will interfere and take out John Cena to try to help Seth Rollins. But Seth Rollins is up against... is up against the Beast who is pissed off.
He's fighting Goro.
He's fighting Goro, and Goro is pissed off.
All I could say is... what I was going for. Randy Orton's either coming out during the match, after the match, or the next night on Raw to start this feud that they've been planting the seeds for when they were still members of the Authority, and it's going to be a nice long build to have their singles match at WrestleMania.
All right, and we all agree it's going to be Lesnar winning.
It's going to be Lesnar winning. Yes.
Okay.
And now is where the disagreements begin.
And now, here's the real fun part of this prediction
it's
show.
Time now for the big enchilada, the one we've all been waiting for, the Royal Rumble match. And we're going to break this down into 3 separate categories. We got who we want to win, who we think will win, and the dark horse who might have an outside chance of winning. All right? Who wants to go first?
I will.
Okay.
Okay, Bryan. Who
do I want to win? I have turned the corner. I would like Daniel Bryan to win.
Okay, it's a step.
Who I think will win?
Say it.
Don't
believe in Roman Reigns.
And my microphone levels just exploded. Thank you, Bryan.
I was about to say, if you're listening to this, I should have warned you ahead of time, because from that build-up you were doing, I knew you were going to like scream right into the microphone.
Yeah. You're already like 1 foot away from the microphone. You don't have to be like, believe in the Shield, I'm picking Roman Reigns.
Fool, when you're posting this video on YouTube, put a little thing on the information on this. Turn your volume down at exactly 38 minute mark.
Well, you also have to put in the intro, so yeah. So yeah, probably around 38.
Turn your volume down because this.
And I think I might be the only one who's not upset if Roman Reigns wins.
Oh, I'm going to talk about it more, but I'm going to keep my bet. I made my bet, and I'm going to keep it. If Roman Reigns wins the Royal Rumble, I am going to cancel my subscription in WWE Network.
Because you're going into this, I think you should be next, Fool.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
I didn't do Dark Horse.
Yes.
Oh.
Dark Horse. It's a toss-up.
In a crazy world, who wins?
It's a toss-up. It's between Dolph Ziggler and Dean Ambrose.
If you can only pick one.
If I could only pick one, I'll go Dolph Ziggler. Because of the build-up. He took out almost the entire Authority team at Survivor Series, and John Cena's been building him up hardcore in the promos leading up to in the You're Fired storyline. So I'm like, I think the final three will be Dolph Ziggler, Daniel Bryan, and Roman Reigns.
Okay.
And anybody who wins out of those three, I personally am fine with, because I can see storyline opportunities out of my ass for all three of these guys coming out of the Royal Rumble into WrestleMania.
All right, that's fair. For who I want to win at the rate we're going, honestly, anyone but Roman Reigns at this point. But playing fair, you have to pick one.
We all know who you're gonna pick. Just say it.
Okay, Daniel Bryan.
There you go.
As far as Will, again, I'm going to say Daniel Bryan. I still think he's got a shot at winning this.
Oh, the way they're building him up, he definitely has a shot.
Yeah, again, it's hard to believe that they would not learn their lesson from last year, but...
Well, they have technically learned their lesson, because the lesson is he's actually in the freaking Rumble this year.
Yeah.
That's the actual lesson.
Whether or not he'll actually win, that's another thing. But, again, I'm going Bryan all the way.
Well, learning their lesson, it would be Ambrose winning.
Well,
because Ambrose is the biggest guy in the...
Well, again, that's also my dark horse.
There you go.
I can see Dean Ambrose winning, and then having him be the dark horse favorite to win, he ends up winning. All of a sudden, we get Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar's looking at him like, "Oh, what the hell are you?" It was like, "I'm the lunatic prince. I'm the guy you don't see coming. I'm the guy lurking in shadows, ready to shank you for your wallet."
Yeah, shank you.
Yeah, guess what? It's not gonna. This is just gonna be a brawl. I'm just gonna leap on you and have a seizure, and that's how I fight. The end.
Unintentional dirty humor. Shank you, get on top of you, and have a seizure.
Well, how do you do it?
But
I'm not going to answer that.
I actually was going to say
When was
this.
the last time you got shanked?
No comment.
That's actually a good question.
I'm talking about stabbing somebody.
No comment.
I've never stabbed anyone.
No comments on this show.
Anywho, those are my picks. Wanton Lewis, same thing. I'm picking Daniel Bryan. Dark horse pick. Outside, I think Dean Ambrose has an outside chance.
And here's something that I forgot to say in my little grouping. Okay, there is a distinct possibility in my mind that this is the year. Okay, they haven't done this in a while. There's a distinct possibility in my mind that they might do a Bret Hart Lex Luger.
Take me back there. What was that about?
They landed at the same time.
That
and couldn't and
they did that already recently. Well, not so recently, but they
but I mean
showing The Rock.
No, that was the Shawn Michaels. But except they restarted the match. This time they don't restart. It's been 10 years.
Still, I can see that being a bit of a... Coming across, at least, as a bit of a cop-out.
As a bit of a cop-out, yeah, but if it does happen, I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm still sticking with what I said. But I would not be surprised at all if they pull that out of their hat this year.
All right, Fool.
All right, when it comes down to it, as you all been seeing in the Royal Rumble game, I had my numbers chosen a while ago, but I wanted to see how the storylines have been going to see who has the best chance of winning this year. From all I've seen, and from all how everything is being put in place, I think the best option, I'm going with you, Fool, who I want to win and who I actually think will win, is Daniel Bryan. Okay. Because it just how much they're putting so much focus on how he's come back and how he did prove the authority wrong. He is the A+ player, but he couldn't hold on to it. And he's just showing that he will never get to that spot again, which is him trying to prove them wrong, overcoming the odds, being the complete underdog again, showing that he can have that WrestleMania moment again. And another point why I think it should and why I want it to happen is from what I told you guys at the end of the show last week, how I want the end of WrestleMania to go. I want... Yeah, Bryan remembers because his response to it was absolutely brilliant.
I want it. I want it so bad.
He wants my WrestleMania ending so bad. Of course, it's going to be building up for Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar. Paul Heyman and Daniel Bryan on the mic is going to be beautiful. And it's going to put on a spectacular match at WrestleMania. Of course, Daniel Bryan's going to get his ass handed to him because it's Brock Lesnar. Duh. But he's going to pull that underdog victory, and when he's finally celebrating with the newly crowned WWE World Heavyweight Champion Daniel Bryan, we're going to restart the last year's WrestleMania moment with the Yeselmania. That was really hard to say. First I was going to say yeah, whatever. As soon as we're about to start that, he's doing yes, yes, yes. The second he comes down from the turnbuckle, out of the blue, boom! From behind, Seth Rollins hits him with the briefcase.
I can see an NWO reaction coming from this when Hulk Hogan joins it and they're throwing crap in the ring. That's gonna be amazing.
So yeah, hits him from behind. No theme song, no theme music, completely out of nowhere. Boom! Hits him in the back of the head with the briefcase. Referee is completely shocked. He's still down. He's going to hand the referee the briefcase. Officially declared the match. Curb stomp. 1, 2, 3. We have a new WWE World Heavyweight Champion in Seth Rollins that will lead to a great feud with Daniel Bryan.
Throughout the summer
with Daniel Bryan and Seth Rollins. It will help put Seth Rollins to that point where he is now the main event star. At this point,
he's almost there.
He really is.
He is on the cusp. He needs this.
If he gets this, he will cross the line. He will be at that point where he is 150% a WWE main eventer.
The only reason, I'm not changing my pick from Roman Reigns, is I stay with what I say in the Royal Rumble game. I made that pick back in December when it was still anybody's. When it was still. When the thought was in the back that Roman Reigns was the number one choice and Daniel Bryan hadn't returned yet. And I said Roman Reigns will win. And I'm like, when I make a pick, I don't back down on it. That's the only reason he's my who will win pick. I want Daniel Bryan to win because I want that WrestleMania ending so badly.
Because seriously, though,
we've had the Daniel Bryan WrestleMania moment. We've had it. It was awesome. It was amazing.
And the variant can work. I agree with you.
And this... Then you get the Seth Rollins ultimate FU moment. It's not at any... It's not just any pay-per-view. It's WrestleMania.
Which we have never had a cash-in. There's never been a cash-in. It would be heel for life. It would be... Well, it doesn't have to be heel for life. It would be the ultimate heel move. I mean, look at Brock Lesnar. He did the ultimate heel...
People will remember that forever.
Exactly. It will be something long talked about. And it would help put him to that spot where he really does deserve to be. and that will be his WrestleMania moment. It would get the same reaction like what you were saying of the whole Hogan turning heel, joining the NWO.
I want to see crap. I want to see cups. I want to see popcorn. I want to see all this crap getting thrown in the ring at the end of WrestleMania, and Seth Rollins just like, yeah, baby.
Seriously, just talking about that, I was actually giving myself chills because that's how exciting that would be. That would be a definite big marker if they did that. Like, and
don't even show Seth Rollins having anything to do with Daniel Bryan in the lead up.
Yes,
to WrestleMania. Keep him going with Randy Orton.
That's exactly
keep him occupied.
That's exactly
it comes out of nowhere.
That's the whole point of Money in the Bank. It happens completely out of nowhere. It can happen at any time, and nobody has had that moment at WrestleMania. And the debut of the golden briefcase, what better way to have it with the big, more monumentous moment than having it be a WrestleMania moment?
I'm digging it. That said, I only have one more question.
I have to throw my dark horse, but I'll just throw my. It's Roman Reigns, just because he's my number 2.
It's not really a dark horse. It's sort of like a.
It's just like he's my. I really don't have a dark.
Someone
horse.
who know in the back of your mind is not gonna win. But that's why I said Dolph Ziggler. It's like, he's not going to win. Come on.
That's it. I really don't have someone who's not going to win and just choose. Like, if that was the case, I would choose Bray Wyatt.
There you go.
But
that's a good one.
But I'm talking about
a good one.
I'm just talking about someone who has the second best chance for me, and that's Roman Reigns.
Okay.
Yeah, it's coming down to 2.
How about
it's
this?
really just those 2.
Yeah. How about this? I've got one more question in regards to the Royal Rumble match proper. If the past couple years are any indication, there's probably going to be someone from NXT making a surprise appearance in the Rumble match.
Yeah.
Question. Who's it going to be this
Adrian
year?
Neville.
Adrian Neville. We talked about this last week.
And we still agree.
We still argue with the Mighty Mouse gimmick.
Adrian Neville, I would have said Sami Zayn, but he's the champion, and no.
Granted, that would make sense of having the NXT champion show up in a Royal Rumble match.
But there's already talk of Adrian Neville coming up to the roster soon, so do it.
Maybe this could be the segue. Who knows?
Maybe.
All right. So
do I think he'll have the same impact as Rusev last year? I don't know.
Maybe if they allow him to do a red arrow off the top rope before he's eliminated, then you know what? Maybe it will. But again, that remains to be seen. But yeah, we all agree Adrian Neville's the best pick.
Adrian Neville.
Definitely.
Adrian Neville. All right.
That was actually so much fun talking about the Royal Rumble match. And I actually had more fun talking about this one match than the entire show talking about the other ones.
Of course, it's the Royal Rumble.
It was a lot better than last year.
Not even just because it's the Royal Rumble. It's because the other matches, because we know what's going to happen. They were so predictable that we just said who's going to win, and that's it.
Wow.
So if Roman Reigns does win, does that mean I'm taking over the NXT report?
You can.
How does that work? Wait,
because he's getting rid of the network.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes more sense. I'm like, wait, why?
That's why.
That makes sense. Durr. Right. I was like, wait a minute, what?
So you've heard our predictions. We've talked about it at great length. But now we want to hear your predictions. Last week going into the Royal Rumble, and we would like to invite you, the scholars of wrestling
community,
universe, library, whatever you want to call it.
Just call them the scholars community.
Okay, the scholars community.
The students of wrestling.
If you're listening to this.
I like that. I actually like that. The students of wrestling. I like it.
And that works. If you're listening to this right now, you know what you ought to do? You really ought to join the WWE Royal Rumble game on Facebook. Look for it. It's an open event. Anyone can play. Put in 3 numbers between 1 through 30. And then the name of the person who you think will win the Royal Rumble match proper. Put those in. Score some points. Play with people all around the world. I'll tell you what. It absolutely makes the Royal Rumble match way, way more fun to watch. It can take an average Royal Rumble and an average pay-per-view and turn it into something truly, truly special. And you know what? You can find this on Facebook, and you can also find on Facebook the official Scholars of Wrestling. What are you looking at me for?
I don't think I've ever heard Royal Rumble and average in the same sentence before.
Well, you know what? When I'm talking about that, I'm referring to some of our other more cynical friends who was like, "Oh, that Royal Rumble match sucked. Oh, that was a terrible pay-per-view."
It's actually so crazy because
let's face it, every Royal Rumble match, okay, I believe that every Royal Rumble match is good.
Yeah.
Okay, the winner, not always, but the actual match itself is always something to look forward to. Is always good.
Oh, it's even funny because I have my sisters who hate wrestling, but they love the Royal Rumble match.
Okay, well, there you go.
It's so weird. So
maybe I'm just surrounded by far too many cynical voices.
That's why I go over to my other friends for the Royal Rumble match.
Well,
because they're always like, it's the Royal Rumble match, and I don't give a crap who wins. It's just the Royal Rumble match.
Okay. Well, even so, you know what I mean.
Yes.
The Royal Rumble game itself can turn average by Royal Rumble standards into something exceedingly special.
There you go.
Like last year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, like last year.
He had so much fun during that Royal Rumble game, but then he thought about it. And
it softened the blow. It really, really did.
Yeah.
But anyway, you can look that up, the Royal Rumble game 2015 on Facebook. And while you're on Facebook, while you're at it, why don't you also look up the Facebook page for this show, the Scholars of Wrestling Show, on Facebook. Join up, like us, get free content in your ears, in your Facebook feed. Occasionally, if I find a cool match, I'll post it on there. Someone finds a funny picture. Hey, free laughs. It's not a BuzzFeed article. Everyone wins. So like us, like our Facebook page, like our videos.
Subscribe to our channel.
Yes, subscribe to our channel if you want to see more. And you know what? What else is there to say? But we are the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled.
You're welcome.
See
nice
you
little
all
diss.
at the Royal Rumble.
Nice little diss to BuzzFeed at the end.
Yeah, I cut that one there.